QUIVIDS.com. Visit Clibix.com now.
Aaron Burnett out front. Next on CNN.
All right, this is Jeff Simmons, CNN. The New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has some very tough words for President Obama about his handling of the ISIS threat. The possible 2016 presidential candidate just spoke to our chief congressional correspondent, Dana Bass. Dana is joining us now from Newark, New Jersey. So tell us what he said, Dana.
Well, Chris Christie is a Republican who's not been afraid in the past to hold hands and join forces with President Obama when needed, like Hurricane Sandy in the aftermath, for example. But when it comes to this particular issue that has been in the headlines, ISIS and the president's role with regard to ISIS, he is not happy. Listen to this.
I was disturbed by the 60 Minutes interview on Sunday night when he said they underestimated ISIS. It should be we, Mr. President. It's your administration. And when you're the leader, you have to be held accountable for what they do. And so I was disturbed by that. I think that makes people a little less certain of his footing on these things. He's the president. He needs to be accountable, and I hope that he says that they correct what I hope was a misstatement. There wasn't they who underestimated. It was we, his administration who underestimated. As I've shown before, if I think the president's doing something well, I don't think he should say that he is. But I think the jury's still out on this because we shouldn't be in this position to begin with.
And Wolf, I pointed out to the governor that the president actually has gotten at least 5 Arab countries to fly with the United States in airstrikes that he's against ISIS in Syria and Iraq, and whether or not that is proof that he has some of those plans, he would not back down. But what was very interesting is that this is obviously a governor for whom foreign policy is not a daily part of his job, unlike senators who potentially are going to run for president, as Chris Christie might. But he was very eager, it seems, to get his name, his voice out there on this very, very big issue of national security right now.
What is he saying, Dan, about possibly running for the Republican presidential nomination?
He told me that he's going to decide after the first of the year. He said that's when he's going to decide, but maybe not announce it until later. I said, come on, you haven't decided yet. And he said, no, I'm not kidding. I really haven't decided. We'll see when the history books are written whether or not that actually turns out to be true. But look, I said to him back on the ISIS question, what he would do if he were commander-in-chief, and he was very quick to say, I don't have to answer that question yet because I'm not yet seeking the role to be commander-in-chief.
Does he think that whole Bridgegate scandal is behind him?
He certainly is trying to get it behind him, and one of the things that was so fascinating in watching him, and where I am right now, is Newark, New Jersey. He came here for a forum talking about trying to destigmatize drug addiction, and he was a very different kind of Chris Christie, a compassionate kind of conservative, and that was clearly an attempt to show it somebody different from the perhaps bully that came across during the whole Bridgegate scandal.
All right, Dana, good work. Thanks very much. And this note to our viewers, you can see much more of Dana's interview with the New Jersey Governor Chris Christie tomorrow morning on New Day, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. only here on CNN. That's it for me. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Will Putzer in the Situation Room. Aaron Burnett out front starts right now.
Out front tonight, breaking news. First confirmed case of Ebola in the United States. The patient tonight being treated in the Dallas hospital. That patient went about his business for days before knowing that Ebola was in the system. How many others could follow? And the biggest day of bombings against ISIS so far as ISIS closes in on Baghdad. Former vice presidential candidate and leading Republican Congressman Paul Ryan is out front tonight. Plus a suspect in the disappearance of UVA student Hannah Grant. Police are now investigating possible